All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Guys, before we get into this Los Angeles Clippers video, if you enjoy it, hit that like button, hit that sub button. I do this every single day. I'm also about 45 subscribers away from 5,000 subs, so if you are not subscribed and you wouldn't mind hitting that button if you enjoy this video, it is greatly appreciated. But the NBA Finals are over, and it is now officially free agency and trade season. This is definitely going to be, as it always is, a very anticipated offseason. I cannot wait. Contenders are going to try and load up. Rebuilding teams are going to gain some assets, while other teams try to kind of figure it out, try to get to that contending tier of teams in the league. Rumors have already began to start. Trades have even already began to start. There was a Clippers trade. There was a Grizzlies and Pelicans trade yesterday revolving Steven Adams and Eric Bledsoe for Jonas Valanciunas. And there have been a bunch of rumors swirling around the Portland Trail Blazer team. Looking from the outside, looking in, the Blazers are kind of all over the place. No one really knows what's going to happen with Damian Lillard. My safe bet, the way I see this team is they're kind of like the Wizards, where it's like, they probably should blow it up. However, they're on a substantially different level than the Wizards are. Actually, statistics wouldn't even really back that up by that much. But personally, I think the Portland Trail Blazers are much better than the Washington Wizards. But I think that both of those two teams need to blow it up. Now, like I said, no one really knows what's happening with Damian Lillard. All over the last couple of weeks, it's been a whole bunch of different things. Even if Dame has made it pretty clear he wants to stay in Portland, there's still a bunch of trade hypotheticals and all that stuff going around. Now, everybody really has their eyes on Damian Lillard, but I think it's also important to take notice of CJ McCollum, because if Dame's gone, I think it's safe to say CJ is gone as well. Now, the Blazers have done, or are going to have to do, everything they possibly can to try and keep Damian Lillard. And that means they got to build a team where he actually gets enough help to go deep in the playoffs. And I think the pairing of Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum over the last couple of years, it just hasn't shown me enough. I like CJ, I really do. I like Damian Lillard. However, I think Dame needs a big man. I think he needs an athletic big man. And then I think CJ, he's just such a good all-around player that I bet if there was an athletic big man in Portland, the team would be just fine. However, they might have to use him to kind of dangle away to try and get some assets. Or if Damian Lillard gets traded, it's really hard to envision not only CJ wanting to stay there, but CJ actually staying there. Based on the Los Angeles Clippers roster, their active all-star is only Paul George. And I don't think they're going to trade him, especially considering the playoff run that they just had. The most they can offer for a potential McCollum trade, it would have to be some of their role players, because I think Kawhi Leonard is safe to be staying in LA. So that would maybe include Marcus Morris, Luke Kennard, Terrence Mann, Rajon Rondo, Ivica Zubac, or Patrick Beverley. So the question for the Blazers is, are they willing to trade a proven guard in CJ McCollum for role players? I don't think so. However, if they are trying to get Damian Lillard to that next step, some proven role players might be the best thing for him. However, in my opinion, I don't see that happening. Therefore, it's tough to envision this trade actually working out. Now, you could look at it so let me use an example here. When I think of the Washington Wizards, I think that they'll trade Bradley Beal for picks and assets, and then Russell Westbrook for proven role players. And with the Portland Trail Blazers, I could definitely see it being much of the same. Trading away Damian Lillard for more draft picks and assets, and then trading away CJ McCollum for just proven young role players. So here's the first trade that I think the Clippers could offer the Trailblazers, and it might help them out a little bit. It goes Marcus Morris, Luke Kennard, and the Clippers 2021 first round pick, and then the Clippers receive CJ McCollum. So the Clippers, the Blazers are getting Kennard's three-point shooting and his ability to help space the floor. And they also get a good stretch four with Marcus Morris. Also can play a little small ball five, something that Portland's kind of lacked in the last couple of years, is being able to go small and be able to do that. So these two players prove to be extremely useful for the Clippers in the playoffs. I think Luke Kennard actually maybe even single-handedly won them a game with or Marcus Morris especially. I mean, he tied Steph Curry's record for most threes in a Game 7. They're going to lose scoring and playmaking with getting rid of CJ McCollum, but acquiring role players who can fit next to Damian Lillard in return could be big, especially if they build their team the right way. I think that's been something that Portland hasn't really been able to figure out, is putting Dame around the right assets. And I think one of those assets is just a big man who can shoot. I can't really think of the last big man who could shoot who's been around Dame, except for LaMarcus Aldridge, and that was a very long time ago. So the bottom line is that the Clippers really can give up their role players if they want to make an offer for CJ McCollum. It is possible for a third-party team to join as well, and if we're being honest, I think that is most likely for if the Clippers were to actually trade for CJ McCollum. Kawhi's injury is devastating, but the Clippers now, it is what it is. Right? There's nothing you can do about it. So now you have to go out, you have to adjust your roster, and you got to find a way to build around Paul George so that you can still be competitive. I'm not quite sure about Kawhi Leonard's injury, if he's going to have to miss the whole season. Obviously, he's going to miss the start of the season and the first half of the season. My guess is Kawhi Leonard doesn't even play next season. That's just my guess, especially after what Kevin Durant did and the way Kevin Durant looked this season. Is if I'm a Clipper fan, I don't even think Kawhi Leonard returns next season. So this trade is a little far-fetched, but I do think if McCollum finds his way to the Clippers, it would be, wow. I mean, then once you get Kawhi Leonard healthy, then you've got CJ, Kawhi, and Paul George, and you've just got you've got your own little big three there. So anyways, guys, that's going to be it for today. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, hit that sub button. It's greatly appreciated. Other than that, I'll see you guys later.